Hi, I'm Jenny. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so glad you're here. Today we are going to work on the very last page in my, unlike my Sunken Treasure journal. I've been working on it for quite some time. I actually started it last summer and then I walked away from it and then I've come back to it, and my goal of course was to finish it this May so that I could put it out when I kind of swap over and do some kind of sea themed decorations in my living room for the summer. And I would like to be able to put this out on a coffee table for people to look at. So this is the last page, and I will, once I get the pages put back in, I kind of have changed. I went from 3 sections to 2 sections because it was getting so fat, but I will do a flip through and show you the whole journal when I'm finished putting it together. I have kind of been sliding pages in and out to work on, and at this point I would like to sew them together and put them permanently into the book. So when I have done that, I will shoot a short little video with a flip through showing you the completed journal. But this is the last one, and I want to do something a little bit different on this one. So I've been watching Marguerite Miller's reminders, tips about collage and things like that, and it's not anything I didn't know, but sometimes it's good to hear it again, and I appreciate her very low-key approach to it. So it's been making me think about just kind of having some fun with throwing some stuff on a page and doing just kind of a fun collage. So that's what I want to do on this page. So this is a piece of a bag, and you can see I already have a flip through here and stuff, and this is the bag. And I want to flatten it out as much as I can. So let's do this so that we have a page to work on here. I have a tendency to overthink collage, even if it's just a background, which this is going to be. So my thought is I'm going to collage a background, maybe do some dots and marks and doodles and stuff on top of that, and then choose something for the foreground that is ocean oriented. I'm not really sure what that'll be. Maybe a shell, might be a fish. I don't know yet. So I have several things to choose from, and I'll decide that once we get the background done. But I have a tendency to overthink, you know, should I do this color? Should I do that piece? What should I do? So to help me, I went through my scrap bag. So you guys know I have this bag full of lots and lots and lots of scraps and lots of different colors and sizes and sources. And I pulled out pieces. I just tore off pieces of anything that was green, yellow, blue. I did I tore out things that have beige on them or brown. I did a little bit of black and white as, you know, as a place to rest your eye maybe from all the color. So I just tore pieces off of stuff so that I would have all these things that go together. So the colors go together so that I don't have to worry about whether or not I'm getting the wrong thing. Should I have this? Should I have that? And I just want to cover this with pieces of these. So I'm just going to kind of dive in and start. Like I said, I don't want to think too hard about it. I do think some of the thinner things like the tissue, I might wait until I have other things down and put those on top. Otherwise, I am just going to kind of dive in, and I'm going to start in the middle. Usually I start around the edge and kind of work my way in. I'm going to start in the middle and work my way out, and I'm going to cover up, you know, edges and things. So if I have something, I just said I was going to not put tissue paper down yet, but that's what I grabbed. So that's okay. If I have straight edges, you know, I just want to kind of cover those up as I work my way out. And then we will, you know, trim the edge on the outside. So if something's kind of big, I just want to tear it down. So I am just not really interested in overthinking this. I am really interested in just trying to grab things and glue them down. The point of picking colors that would go together would be that I wouldn't have to worry about whether or not what I have is going to work. So I want to just kind of, you know, grab things. So I've got quite a bit of green there. Just gonna grab something here that's blue. Didn't really mean to grab anything with red on it, but that's okay. So I hope you guys are having a really good day. Our day around here has been a little frenetic. Our car needs, we have one car that's a hybrid, and we bought it ages and ages ago, and it's been a really good car, but it needs the hybrid battery, and we are finding out that those are very expensive. And we didn't think it was going to be cheap, but wow, we didn't think it was going to be that expensive. So we are in the midst of trying to get some quotes from different places to find the best deal, you know, for our budget. So that's always fun, you know. And you guys know how that is. It's like everything is kind of going along, and you know, all of a sudden something happens and you have to fix something that you didn't think you were going to have to fix for quite a while, and you know, it's just a surprise. It's like, surprise, you get to fix me. Yeah, so you know, that seems to be how it is. You know, that's always what happens with the cars, the house, you know, stuff like that. It's like everything's good, and then suddenly you have to fix something that you didn't plan on fixing. But it does always seem to work that way. So, you know, it's just kind of, and on the heels of my husband recently had some surgery, and he's fixing to have another surgery this summer. He's waiting for school to be out. Nothing life-threatening, but he's getting his sinuses fixed. He's been having sinus issues, actually most of his life, all of his life, I guess. He was kind of born on one side. He doesn't have like a sinus cavity, which is only funny because he's a singer, and he can really, you know, belt out some sound, and really powerhouse some stuff, you know, and fill an auditorium without a mic when he needs to. But I can't imagine how much more volume and resonance he will get once he gets his sinuses fixed. So, and you know, it gets to the point you get older and you start having trouble breathing, and you know, you can't breathe and you snore and all of that kind of stuff. So, you know, and he's prone to sinus infections and things. So it's good that he's getting it fixed, but you know, so you lay out for that kind of stuff. As you guys well know, this is nothing new. This is the same kind of thing that we all have. It's just, you know, suddenly, oh, that's the last of my glue stick here. It's a good thing I ordered some more. I'm gonna have to go get the ones I ordered. Hopefully, the ones I ordered will be really good. I ordered I ordered this box of Yoo-hoo sticks, and this is the last one. And I've enjoyed using it. They've been good glue sticks, but they are a little pricey, as many of you probably know. Let's tear that down so it's not straight. They are a little pricey, so when I was looking on Amazon to buy some replacements, there was an off-brand that had good reviews, and a couple of the people even said they were better than these, and they were about half the price. So guess which ones I ordered. Imagine that, right? Yeah. So I'm hoping that I want to get this, of course, this video up this week, but I'm hoping maybe I can shoot a short little video showing you the completed journal and get that up this week as well. I'd like to have both of those up and on the channel so that you can see the whole thing without having to wait another week. That would be good, maybe. You know, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes after we deal with the car. I am, for those of you who have commented and messaged me about my recent illness, I am feeling much better. I am still taking the painkillers, but I am taking about half as much. So I don't feel tipsy, which is really nice. It's nice to not be crafting under the influence, right? Although that was kind of silly, you know. But hey, we do what we got to do, right? Let's see. I don't want to put that with that one there. Maybe this. Tear this a little bit. So I do have some injections that are going to target the pain that are coming on Friday. So I'm hoping that next week when I see you guys, I will be painkiller free, which would be really good. But as I said, I am doing much better with them at this point. So not too worried about it right now. Seems like progress is being made. Hope you guys had a good Mother's Day. So Mother's Day was yesterday, and my daughter sent me this cute little online card. And then she wrote me a note. You know, of course, the notes you get from your kids are always so sweet. So I got a really sweet note from her. We, when she was young, we visited Tennessee every summer and every Christmas to see my family. And she now lives in Tennessee. My daughter does. And we would go, and later when she was a little older, she and I would go for like 2 weeks at a time and spend some time. And the fireflies, she remembers us, how much I love the fireflies, and us watching the fireflies in the evening, you know, over the grass and that kind of stuff. And so now she said she lives outside of Nashville now. So she said in her note that every time she sees the fireflies, she thinks of me. And I just thought that was like the sweetest thing to say ever. You know, so it, made me cry. But, you know, I'm a mom, so. Moms do that, right? We're all, you know, and I don't know about you guys, but I am definitely a mama bear. I am fierce when it comes to my daughter, so it's very sweet when she says things like that. Okay, guys, this glue stick is just about dead. I might be able to dig a little bit out for something else, but I will be right back. I'm gonna go grab a new one. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna show you the ones I have. These are more, and it says they're jumbo stick glue, all purpose, right? And like I said, I think I paid about half the price. So let's looks like you can tear it open for like a display box thing, but I don't think we need that. I think we can just pull one out here. So I guess we'll see how this goes. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's see, maybe along the edge there. I'm thinking after I get all of this down, that I will use my paint pens to just do some mark making. I'm thinking like a black paint pen. It's okay if we go off the edge a little bit because I'll just cut that off. Ooh, what do I have on that? Goodness. That one seems to have a bit of a plasticky finish there. It's in my scrap bucket, so who knows? It's possible. Where did it come from? Okay. So let me know in the comments. Do you guys struggle with just, you know, putting stuff down, just, you know, kind of just to put it down? Like I feel like I am doing this really randomly, but I'm kind of doing that on purpose. That's really what I'm after, is to not overthink it, right? I don't want to overthink it. I just want to put some stuff down just to cover. You know, this is a sack from one of the cruises we took, Come Back New. So is that Princess, I think. So I just want to kind of make a bunch of layers of stuff. The Ocean Journal, let me tell you, that Sunken Treasure Journal was getting really fat. I had 3 signatures laid out, and I finished all of the first signature and all of the second signature, and it barely closed with the third signature still in it. And I had done a couple of pages in the third signature, but not very many, just a little bit. And so I decided to take the third signature out, and I distributed the few pages that I had done in there. I distributed back into signature 1 and 2. And so when I sew them in, there will be kind of 2 fat signatures as opposed to 3 really fat signatures. Yeah. So it really just would not even close. And generally I don't mind a little bit of a gator mouth, but I really want to put this out on a coffee table. So I want it to close enough so that my kitty cats don't get nosy and are like, oh, what's this? And, you know, decide that they can choose some of the things in it. I don't think that would be a good thing. Let's see. Oh, this is pretty. Oh, we can put that up there maybe. You know, so I just decided that was probably enough. And it's still not going to be like flat. I mean, it'll close, but it's not going to be skinny by any stretch of the imagination. And I don't have a closure on it, which is fine. I don't know that it needs a closure. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it does. Maybe I should put one on there and then I wouldn't have to worry about it. But I figure if I put something on there, like a tie, if I put ribbons or something on it, then that's just gonna invite the kitties to come play with it. And the other thing is, I think if I put something on it, oh, that's interesting, isn't it? I think if I put something on it that closes, I think people will be less likely to look at it. Like if they have to, you know, if they have to undo the closure to look at it, then I don't think it'll get looked at. And you know, no, really nobody's over at my house but, you know, a couple of my friends and family and stuff. But, you know, if it's sitting out, I'd like somebody to look at it, and I'd like to look at it. So I will be less likely to untie it or undo it and open it. I will be much more likely if it just opens. I will be much more likely to open it and look at it. And possibly I will open it, you know, and leave it open to different pages. And then after a couple of days, I'll open it to another page, maybe. You know, maybe that's what I'll do. So that's kind of my thought. You guys leave your journals out? Like most of the time I don't. I have a Christmas one that I made specifically as a decoration to send out. And I just last fall made a fall one to put up on my mantle. But generally, in the past, I have not put them out. So I feel like I'd like to start putting them out because I feel like I would like more people to see them, or I would like to spend more time looking at them. And I do look at them, but I tend to put them on a shelf, and then I'm like, oh, I have a few minutes, maybe I'll sit down and look at it. Whereas I think if it were out, you know, if it were upstairs in my living room, sitting on a table, you know, sitting on a coffee table or a console table, something like that, I feel like maybe then I would sit and look at it more. You know, like I would be more inclined to have a look at it. You know, so that's kind of my thought. So I don't know. Tell me what you think. I don't want it to be so precious that it sits somewhere and never gets touched. Like I don't want that. I don't, you know, I want to take care of it, but I don't want it to be too precious. Like, to me, if it's too precious, then, you know, that kind of defeats the purpose of having it in some ways, I think. You know, but maybe that's just me. Because I don't even like china to be too precious. Like you know, if I have china and stuff, I want to use it. If I'm not going to use it, then I'm not really interested in keeping it for very long. Okay, so I was going to do black, but maybe I should do like navy blue instead. What do we think? Here's my color swatch. So this one is the Prussian blue, I think, 91. I've turned it sideways. There it is. So this one is Prussian blue versus the black. I think let's try the Prussian blue and see. So these are Artex acrylic markers. This is what I have, and it's a dual tip. It's got a fine tip on one side and a brush tip on the other. And I really, really love these. These are great markers. So I'm gonna fill in, just randomly fill in a few of these dots maybe. And let's see. So I'm just kind of like doing some mark making with this. You know, there's no rhyme or reason to it. I just kind of want to you know, just kind of want to do some things. Just doodle around a little bit. Yeah, I don't like that, not filled in. I think I want to fill those in. I think I want to put another one here. Oops. Apparently my marker doesn't like the paper on here very much, but I think this is the one that had some plasticky feel to it. So I'm just doing like random, you know, little shapes, circles, and like we did hashtag, you know, hashtags, hash marks. I could do some squares. I am going to put a focal image over this. So, you know, I don't really know which image I want to put on it yet. But I do know that I want to put something over it. So this is all just, you know, background. So let me know what you guys think. Do you just do kind of background things? Do you know, just make marks across things? Do you know, kind of just doodle stuff? You know, what do you do? You know, do you go in with markers and do this? If you haven't, would you like to? If you haven't, tell me why you haven't, because I'd be interested to know why you haven't tried it. It does seem to be kind of something that a lot of us do. So I'm thinking maybe I want another color. So I've got those. What if we stick to the blues? We can pick a brighter blue. Let's see. Pick something. So that's nice. So we could just kind of go in maybe and emphasize some of these. I've got the fatter tip on this one, which is nice. So got the brush tip going here. And that gives us a totally different feel, much fatter line. Right? And I don't care about being messy. Like it doesn't matter to me if I'm messy with stuff. It's totally good. I'm totally happy, you know, making messy lines and stuff. Because to me that it's like you just have permission to, you know, do something that is not planned, you know, like I want to do something that's maybe not so planned out. And so, you know, I can do that with a little bit of this messy. We can just kind of do some squiggles. And we can do some squiggles here. So I'm thinking just kind of layers of stuff. Maybe one more color. Let's go in with a different blue. Here's a really lighter, it's a lighter blue. I really like that fatter line. I wasn't sure I was going to. So I'm just gonna kind of, with this really light blue, which doesn't show up as much on, you know, it's kind of white on some of the darker stuff here. So I'm just gonna kind of, you know, come in, like I don't really mind if it's kind of messy here. Like I'm just gonna kind of hold it and do it around. Okay, and then maybe, what the heck, one more shade of blue. Maybe another shade. I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm barely holding the pen. I'm just kind of squiggling, I'm just kind of scrawling on it. You know, just because it's going to be some layers and stuff. This is just all background. So, you know, to me, if you put a lot of layer, this kind of thing over it, it sort of marries it all together. You know, kind of just makes it looks like it goes together because the one line runs into the next. Totally okay. All right, like that. So I think I'm gonna stop with that. We did have, back over here, I had some things, like I had some tissue, some of this, things that you can kind of see through. Let's see, what else is in here? Felt like there was more tissue. There's another piece of tissue. These are some deli papers. Just want to see what I have scrap wise that you can see through. There we go. I think that's all. So not too much, and I could get a napkin if I wanted to, but I'm thinking about just like putting some of these things, maybe, I don't know, just kind of an arrangement here, something like that. And then I'm gonna get a focal point and kind of put it in the middle. And I think probably call this one good. I really just don't want to overthink it. I really just want it to be something kind of simple, but interesting background, you know, like things to look at behind it. You know, and this is good because we can still, you know, let it kind of wrinkle up. You can still see stuff through it. So you can still see some of the papers and marks through there, which is good. And the same with this. And we'll be able to see things peeking through those holes. The deli paper is really thin as well. It's got some paint on it, but I think I had it this way. I'm actually having a really good time with this. This is one of those things that I really don't care in the end whether or not it's beautiful. I just care whether or not I had a good time making it. And so I'm just having a lot of fun making this one. And so that's, you know, that's the name of the game, right? Is whether or not we have fun making it. Because that's ultimately the point, is to have a good time making it. And then see, you can see right through that. All right. Okay, I am going to go find a couple of focal points to choose from, and then we can decide, you know, which one maybe is going to be the best. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have a few choices. I'm going to go ahead and fold this under so we can kind of look at the page by itself. So I have this photograph of a shell that I think might be fun. I think if we put it down, I'd probably want to outline it, or, you know, somehow set it off, maybe outline it in black to pop it off the page a little bit. Maybe put some pearls or something around it. That would be pretty, I think. I think that would be a good choice. I have this one as well, needs to be trimmed a little bit, but the contrast with the colors is nice, makes it pop off the page, and because it's such a brighter, you know, such a brighter color, don't know that it would need too much. We could still outline it, I think. I have these surfboards. This came from a piece of wallpaper. And so something like this could definitely, you know, turn it the right way and just trim those edges. Let's see, that would kind of be like that. So that would be kind of fun, I think. I don't have anything else in here that looks kind of surfboardy. That might be fun. I have this little whale that I drew, which might be kind of fun. It looks kind of, you know, with the ocean, like it looks kind of like a lot of things going on in the background. Again, I think he would probably need some outlining to set him off. And then I have this guy who kind of fits this way. I mean, he would stick out maybe slightly, or we could put him on an angle, you know, so that he's swimming downward. That might be good. Get him all on there, you know. So And honestly, even though he's green, I feel like he kind of looks the best. I like him the best, I think, and he sort of, even though he sort of matches the background, I'm thinking that if I get him glued on here and go in with a heavier black marker and giving some outline, that might help. And then I might go in with some jewels and give him some jewels on his fins. I'm thinking that could be a lot of fun. So I'm gonna go with this one, I think. Okay, so I picked up the Yoo-hoo stick and it's out, so that's not what I want. I guess I should put that in my my bucket over here. There we go. So it's funny how, like, sometimes the ones that, you know, like, he's probably not the cutest one, and, you know, the surfboards are kind of fun and stuff, you know, but I really like this guy. So a few years ago, for the 100-day project, I drew animals, and I drew 10 different animals. So, like, I drew 10 fish, and then I did 10 bats, and I did 10 bunny rabbits, and, you know, all kinds of things. And so he is part of that project, where I worked on, keep trying to screw that on and it just pops on. Where I worked on drawing. I wanted to do some drawing, and I wanted to try to draw every day. And so that was my 100-day project, and I did pretty well, but we went on vacation in the middle of it, so I had to catch up a lot when we got back. We went to Europe. It was for our 25th wedding anniversary, and we had planned that trip for a year. We had saved and planned so that we could go to Europe, and it was a great trip. But I can tell you, I did not keep up with my 100-day project on it, which, you know, like, some people are like, oh, take your sketchbook with you and stuff. I'm like, I am not drawing fish when I could be looking at, you know, some really cool historical landmarks, or eating great food, or dancing to a band or something like that. You know, not sitting in my room drawing fish. So, all right, so let's grab this. Kind of give him a little more of an outline, I think. I want it kind of fat, like I'm gonna do it fairly fat here around him, just because I want to be sure he has a nice big border to pull him out away from that background. Have you guys done the 100-day project? I did it a couple of years, and then it seems like I just had a hard time committing to it. And it's too bad, because I feel like when I do it, it really helps my practice, you know, because I am committed to doing it, and I really feel like I spend a good deal of time in the evenings working on it. So, you know, I feel like it helps. Like, I felt like when I did the drawing, the animal drawing practice, I felt like my drawing got better. My animals got better as I went. I did some elephants, like I said, fish and bats and bunnies. And it was fun. I had a really good time doing it. But sometimes I would get behind, and then I would find myself, you know, catching up, like, on the weekend. Like, I would get behind during the week while I was working, and then I would have to, on the weekend, I'd have to, like, do 2 or 3, because I'd be behind a couple, and so then I'd have to do the one on the weekend, you know, the one on Saturday, and then I'd have to do, you know, the 2 I missed during the week, so I ended up doing 3 on Saturday, and you know, it got to be a little hard sometimes. And I think I ended up putting a lot of pressure on myself over it. So I don't kind of, you know, like I'm kind of like, oh, I'm not going to do the 100-day thing. But I feel like maybe I should. I feel like I should just choose a smaller project. Like maybe I shouldn't decide I'm going to draw an animal every day, because it can be kind of time consuming. And I would do, like, I would not just draw the fish. I felt like I had to color it, and, you know, and I would usually use markers. You know, so it took a little time, and I suppose, you know, I have time. I could, but it just feels like every time I say I'm going to do like that, life gets in the way. Something happens, and I, you know, have to go help somebody, or I have to, you know, and life gets in the way for all of us. I know that happens to everybody. I know it's not just me. And I know that's the point of the project, is to, you know, make a commitment to do it even though life gets in the way. But sometimes I just feel like it just puts too much pressure on myself. So I try, you know, to make sure I come to my studio every day if I can. Like if something happens, you know, and I can't, then makes me sad, and I would like to, you know, but most days I get down to my studio, and sometimes, you know, I don't have time to do very much. I only have time to glue down a few things, or, you know, look through some stuff, maybe compile a you know, stash of things to use next time I glue something down, but maybe I don't have time to glue it down. So, you know. Okay, so I really just wanted kind of this really heavy outline here around him, because I wanted him to be really offset from that background. Let's see. I feel like this isn't quite as heavy through here. There we go. Okay, let's see how he's looking. I think he looks pretty good like that. Let's see. I was thinking maybe I want to kind of firm up some of these lines a little bit. I was contemplating putting some jewels on there, but I don't know. Maybe he doesn't need jewels. Oh, I know. Did I say that? It's hard to believe I did, but there are jewels here next to him, so, you know, maybe he doesn't have to have jewels. Although I don't know. I'm not sure I can let a page go by like this without putting a little bit of bling on there. So I might have to look and see. I wonder if I have any that are black. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if I have black jewels. I think some black jewels might be nice, you know, that would be fun, but I'm not certain I have anything like that. I suppose I could get a glitter pen out. Maybe that's what we should do. Let's get out a glitter pen and maybe do some of his dots. That's an idea. I'm liking that idea, so I think that's what we'll do. Okay. All right. So while that sits for a second, let's grab that. Let me grab my glitter pen. Okay, this one is night. This is night, so let's see. Some of them seem to work better than others. That one doesn't seem to want to work as well. Let's try this one. This one is root. It's more of a brown. This one is moon rock. Oh, it's kind of a silvery. Okay, let's try that. Oops, that fell out underneath there. Where is that? It's on the other page. Okay, so I'm thinking that we could do some of his speckles, maybe on his fins here in the glitter. And back here, let's do some of those. Can add a few more too, you know, because he's all speckly. I don't even remember what kind of fish this is. Maybe a grouper or something. I'm not really sure. I'm sure I looked it up when I drew it, because I did them from, I used reference photos, and so I'm sure it identified what kind of fish he was there. I'm thinking just some little bits here. I don't know if this is showing up on camera, but it's really adding a nice little glittery touch without too much overkill. Although, you know, no such thing as too much bling, but but maybe if I can show some restraint, that would be a good thing. Should do a little back here. Just a little. And you know, especially when you're going over, like, you know, black lines, marker lines or something, it doesn't have to, you know, you don't have to fill it all in. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's the beauty of a glitter pen. You can go over something and it works really well. It's not great for coloring things in on its own, but going over something you've already colored, it can sure be helpful. Okay. All right. I think, oops, I'm throwing stuff around. Put that back in. I think I'm liking that. All right, so I think we'll leave it there. I will be back hopefully in a few days to give you the flip through after I get the signatures sewn in. I can't talk. You'd think I was still crafting under the influence, but I'm not. After I get the signatures sewn in, I will be back with a flip through of the finished book. Until then, remember, use what you have to make your life more beautiful. Have a great day. Bye.